Come on guys, today we're going to learn stateful sets in Kubernetes. Stateful sets are essential for managing database applications like MySQL, Postgres or etc. We call these applications as stateful applications. Even when the pod restarts, stateful sets will maintain the stable network identities and the persistent storage. So let's deploy a stateful set now. Before creating the stateful set, we have to create a service. For that, I can create a YAML file, pi stateful set services dot YAML. So this is the service YAML file content. We have AKMS. API version is the v1 and kind is the resource we are going to create in Kubernetes. That is nothing but a service here. And in metadata, I am going to give a name that is MySQL. And interesting thing here is in the specification, we will give cluster IP as none. And this type of service, we call it as headless service. And the headless service is required for the stateful sets. Here for the pods, we don't assign the single IP. Instead of that, we assign the DNS names. That's why we are going to use headless service here. We are going to use MySQL port that is 3306. And the target port also same. Let's save this YAML file now. Let's run kubectl apply now. Kubectl apply -f ss-services.yaml. Service is created now. If I run kubectl get services, I have the MySQL service here and the cluster IP is none and the port is 3306. That is the MySQL port. Now let's create the stateful set. For that, I am going to create a YAML file va stateful set.yaml. This is the stateful set YAML. We have the API version that is app/v1 and the kind is the resource that I am going to create, that is stateful set. And then the metadata, the name is MySQL, and in the specifications, the service name that I have created earlier, that is MySQL. And the replicas, the number of ports, that is 3. And the label is MySQL. These are similar to previous YAML files. Then the container I am going to use is MySQL container, and the image is MySQL 5.7 version. And I am going to use the environment variables. And the first environment variable is MySQL root password and the value here, and the port is container port, that is again 3306. And the volume mount I am going to use, that's the MySQL storage, that is the name of the volume mount, and the mount path will be varlib MySQL. This is the volume claim templates. I am going to use the access mode read write once, and the storage will be 5 GB. Let's save this YAML file now. Let's apply this YAML file using kubectl apply -f and the stateful set YAML file. You can see stateful set MySQL is created now. We can run kubectl get stateful sets. I can run kubectl get pods also. Kubectl get pods. The pods are failing with crash loop back off error now. I just check the logs of first pod here. Kubectl logs -f and pod name, that is MySQL 0. And I get the error like the data directory has files in it, so it is not empty. Let's delete those files inside the data directory, and let's see whether this error is resolved or not. Now I have deleted the file. Let's see kubectl get pods now. Now you can see all the 3 pods are in the running state. Here I can check the hostname for each pod by running kubectl exec and the cat etc hostname file. If I run this now, you can see hostname of first pod is MySQL 0. Similarly, for other 2 pods, MySQL 1 and MySQL 2 are the host names. In case of deployments, each pod will get its own IP. But in stateful set, we will get the host names. And these host names will not change even if we restart the pod. That means stateful set will get the stable network identity. Let's delete one pod and let's see whether the same host name will be there or not. So kubectl delete pod, and the pod I am going to give MySQL 1. MySQL 1 is deleted now. If I run kubectl get pods now, you can see MySQL 1 is recreated now 9 seconds ago. And if I check the hostname for MySQL 1 now, hostname is same even after restarting the pod. Once we deleted MySQL 1 pod, it recreated because in YAML file we mentioned as replicas as 3. Now for example, if I mention replicas as 5, then there will be 2 more pods with the name MySQL 3 and MySQL 4. I can scale the stateful set using kubectl scale stateful set and then the stateful set name, that is MySQL, and the replicas I have mentioned as 5 now. Let's run this now. Stateful set MySQL is scaled now. Now if I run kubectl get pods, now MySQL 3 and MySQL 4 is created, but it is failing with the crash loop back of error. This is the same issue we have seen earlier on these 3 pods. This error is because data directory is not empty. To resolve this error, I will create a temporary pod called as debug pod, and I will attach MySQL 3 PVC for that. Then I applied that YAML file, then the debug pod is created now. Then I can log into this debug pod now using kubectl exec. Then I change the directory to mnt and MySQL. And if I run ls here I have one directory, that is lost phone directory. I have to delete this directory because MySQL directory should be empty every time. So rm-rf lost phone directory. Let's exit from this temporary pod. Now if I run kubectl get pods. Now both the pods are in same error, crash loop back of error. But I have resolved for MySQL 3. In some time it will come to running status. Let's wait for that. Same thing I can do for MySQL 4 also. I have modified the YAML file now. Here also I can delete that particular lost found directory cd mnt MySQL. And if I do ls here, lost found is there. So rm -rf that particular directory. So here also it is deleted now. Let's see. Kubectl get pods again. Kubectl get pods. Here you can see MySQL 3 is running now. And sometime MySQL 4 also will be in running state. Let's run kubectl get pods again. Kubectl get pods. Now you can see all the pods are in running status. Now if I check the hostname for MySQL 3, you can see hostname is MySQL 3 here. Similarly for MySQL 4, hostname is MySQL 4 here. So in stateful set, even when we scale the number of pods, we will get the stable network identity. Now let's try the rolling updates with the stateful sets. For that, I am going to modify the stateful set YAML file. Here I am going to update the MySQL image. Instead of 5.7, I am going to use 8.0. Let's apply the changes using kubectl apply -f stateful set YAML file. You can see MySQL stateful set is configured now. I can check the rollout status using kubectl rollout status, then the MySQL stateful set. You can see the status here waiting for one pods to be ready. And if I run kubectl get pods, you can see MySQL 0 and MySQL 2 are running and the MySQL 1 is container creating. And when we run rolling update, it will update only one pod at a time. For example, MySQL 0 will be updated first, then MySQL 1, then MySQL 2. Now you can see all the pods are running state. This is how you can perform the scale and rolling updates in stateful sets. Also, you can delete this stateful set using kubectl delete stateful set and the stateful set name, that is MySQL. You can see MySQL is deleted now. Even after deleting the stateful set, the PVC should still exist. If I run kubectl get PVC, you can see all the PVCs are there here. I can delete all these PVCs at once using kubectl delete PVC, then label app equal to MySQL. So all these pods, all these PVCs should be deleted now. So that's it for today. Subscribe and check out other videos too.